Okay, the manager says take your questions on the game. Who would like to start?
Ralf, obviously not the result you wanted, but I guess you are in the Europa League next season, so that's at least something to sort of look forward to.
Yes, I think Brighton did us the favour to turn the game around. They were losing 1-0 at half-time and scored 3 goals in the second half. That was the good thing about this weekend and about this fixture, but we would have loved to take care of ourselves, but in a way the game was indicative of the last couple of weeks, especially when we played away from home. We tried. I think we had 3 good opportunities in the first half to score ourselves, but we didn't. And especially in the first half, had too many unforced errors, bad giveaways, and that was exactly the way that we conceded the goal. In fact, it was our assist. So if there is the goal scorer in the end was Zaha, but the ones who gave the assist were ourselves. We had a throw-in and then just kicked the ball into our own half like a non-look ball. And the way that we defended that shot was also not the way that you have to defend it in this league. And that's why we were trailing again 1-0. Half-time, we were trying to bring on all the young strikers that we had on the bench. Again, had a few opportunities in the second half, but it was just not it was not clinical enough, and that's why in the end we conceded another defeat away from home.
Ralf, have you been left sort of scratching your head at times at the sort of way United have not kept the ball, where they've given the ball away, been so sloppy in possession today, and probably sure you say numerous times during the reign?
Yes, this has been one of our problems in the last weeks, especially away from home. I think at home we could make up for that in front of our own supporters. Yes, today we were missing, I don't know, in total 8 players who have been starting 11 players, but still, even with this group of players today, we should have made less mistakes and not give away that many balls. And on the other hand, again, the way that we defended, I watched that goal again 2 or 3 times since it happened. Yeah, it's just we are not aggressive enough. We are not. You need to have body contact. You need to block that shot, and we were just accompanying the player and allowing him to have an easy shot. I mean, the ball hobbled into the corner. Nothing to do for David De Gea. He couldn't save the ball, but we should have defended that ball much more aggressively.
Ralf, how have you found overall, now that your time has come to an end, how have you found this role specifically? Because it's a little bit different. Yes, it's an interim role, but obviously there's been an element of you looking at what is going on at the club with the squads that you're going to pass on. So how have you actually found that?
Yeah, it was a new experience for me, not necessarily coming in the middle of the season, but knowing that it will be an interim role. Unfortunately, we didn't have any preseason. Unfortunately, we couldn't strengthen the squad. Yeah, but those things happen, and therefore it was, in hindsight, a little bit bittersweet, or sweet bitter rather, because I think in the first couple of weeks and months we did well. We showed some good performances. We had collected enough points with a point average of 2.1 until the game against Atletico. We were still on track. But as I said, I think that defeat in the Champions League was, in a way, like as if somebody has just puffed into the balloon. We lost energy since then. We were not on the same level of energy and aggressiveness, and that's why the level of performance since then dropped. And as I said, today's game was a little bit indicative of that. It was like we played in quite a few away games. And if I compare that with our away games that we played until end of February, away at Brentford, away at Aston Villa, away at Leeds, that was a different level. We were also not perfect in those games, but at least always looked aggressive, always looked dangerous when we were in possession. And this, in a way, we lost in the last weeks.
Erik was here today. Has he had any sort of dealings or communication with you, possibly after the game? Has he been down to the dressing room or anything like that? Anything like that?
No, he didn't come to the dressing room. I don't think that this would have been unusual. He hasn't been introduced to the team. I think this will happen in the new season. I guess he will be introduced to the media here in the next couple of days, and we exchanged some WhatsApp messages, but hopefully can speak in person and get to know each other in person in the next couple of days.
A lot of senior players who weren't selected today, were any of those selections related to the players' futures? Because there are some stories that certain players have been told they can go already, or they might not be planned for next season.
No, all the players that were not available today were not available because they were either ill or injured. None of our players that were not available today were told by me or by somebody else that they should go on holiday or should leave the team earlier. So all of them that were not available because of injuries.
Ralf, you spoke about the lack of aggression and intensity when you were defending today. What do you put that down to collectively? Because it's not a level of talent, is it? It's something that that any player can bring to a game, is a certain level of aggression.
Yeah, as I said, I think we are not the most physical team in this league. But if then also the level of energy is lower than it used to be than a couple of weeks ago, then it causes problems to us and it hurts us a lot. And if on top of that, then we give the balls away as easily as we did in the first half, then it's difficult. And of course, I mean, if I compare the two games against Crystal Palace, my first home game at Old Trafford with today's game, yes, we had a few players missing since then, but still, this was completely different. In that game, we chased them, at least in the first half, and for the first 60 minutes, we didn't give them any time or space. And today, it was almost the other way around. They were trying to press us. And we intended to play like that. That was exactly the game plan that we wanted to try and put them under pressure in their half. But apart from a very few moments, we didn't just do it with enough aggressiveness and energy.
Is that a character flaw, or is it just that it's the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of different things. As I said, I think the big goal of some of our top players was the Champions League. And after the defeat against Atletico, I think this caused, and you could literally feel it even in training, that we didn't have the same level of energy and focus and concentration in training. Yes, and in the league, if you are not playing on the best and highest possible level, I mean, this also happened before I arrived. Even against bottom teams like Watford, you can concede 4 goals. This can happen, and our team needs to play energetically on the limit, on the highest possible level, in order to be competitive. And if you don't do that, then results like today's are the result.
Okay, Gav? I'm sorry.
Sorry, do you believe this group of players conduct themselves professionally enough off the pitch?
I have no doubts about that, but I don't know, because I don't know what they're doing off the pitch. But I don't think, and I haven't heard anything about that in a world of social media. I think this would become public probably if some players would not behave professionally. So I don't think that this is one of the reasons. We spoke about team spirit. Yes, this is also an issue. I think that this team could do with more cohesion, with more. Yeah, I think there could be more togetherness on the pitch, and this is also, I think, important when we think about new players. When the board, together with a new manager, is thinking about new players, that we make sure that they are not only team players, that they have the quality to strengthen the squad, but they also need to be players who invest into the team spirit.
Do you think that's the biggest task, bigger than signing a better defender or a better striker, putting some sort of togetherness into the squad again?
Again, I think we spoke about that earlier on. For me, it's about why do players move to a certain club? And for me, apart from quality, talent, physicality that you need for this league, mentality, I think the most important thing is that we find players for whom it is the best next sportive step in their career, to develop their careers. They shouldn't want to come because it's Manchester United, because maybe they get a good contract here. It should be for developing their careers and take the next best best possible step in their careers. And if that happens, then you have a completely different level of energy, of motivation. This is at least what we did at Red Bull in both clubs, and I think we did well and we fared well with that. This is a different level of quality that we need compared to the ones that we had in the last years at Leipzig. But I mean, they won the cup yesterday, although they were one player down, and they could only do it as a team. And this is, I think, important that we build a team that really deserves the name team. That they, even in hard times, that they stick together, that they play together, that they fight back, that they bounce back. I think this is, for me, the most important part.